An Accra High Court has set Friday, October 28 to rule on the suit filed by the flag bearer of the Progressive People's Party, Dr. Nduom, who is challenging the EC's decision to reject his nomination forms. Lawyers for both parties argued and disagreed over a number of issues ranging from whether the act by the Electoral Commission was legal to whether the Commission offered Dr. Nduom an opportunity to rectify the errors identified on his form. Joint News' Joseph Akable has more on what transpired in court.
Supporters of the flag bearer of the Progressive People's Party thronged the court premises to support their leader. While they exhibited their support outside the courtroom, the real battle was heating up between lawyer Ayiko Otu, who represents Dr. Nduom, and the Electoral Commission's lawyer Thaddeus Sori. Lawyer Otu prayed the court to quash the decision by the EC to reject the nomination form of Dr. Nduom. He further asked that the court orders the commission to give Dr. Nduom an opportunity to correct the anomaly, for which reason the EC decided to reject the nomination form of the flag bearer of the PPP. Lawyer Otu told the court that the commission failed to give Dr. Nduom an opportunity to rectify the errors within the nomination period as stipulated in CI 94. EC lawyer Thaddeus Sori, however, disagreed. He pointed out that Dr. Nduom failed to present his nomination form in time, making it difficult for the commission to offer him that window of opportunity. Thaddeus Sori also questioned the process through which the suit was brought to court. He argued that Dr. Nduom should have filed a petition rather than a suit seeking a judicial review. Lawyer Otu disagreed, maintaining that the suit to question a judicial review was in order. Justice Eric Chebafo, after hearing both sides, fixed Friday, October 28 to rule on the matter. Lawyer Ayiko Otu, interacting with the media after proceedings, served notice of heading to the Supreme Court if the ruling is not in their favor.
Why didn't you fix a date to receive the forms earlier than the date you chose, being the last 2 days, 29th and 30th, according to you? And in law, it's nothing more than the nomination day, because the day I bring it, I stand nominated. Until I withdraw, I die, or I'm disqualified. I'm already nominated. It is only that day. What happens to the 7 days when you have to consider whether or not to accept what the returning officer has done or not? What happened to those days? Are they not part of the law? Did she act in a rational manner? Was she fair? These are the issues. She was just unfair. She acted in an irrational manner. She breached all the laws, which also amounts to illegality of the law. The errors are all there, apparent on the face of CI 94. Yes.
After Friday, if it doesn't go in your favor, what next?
We go to the Supreme Court.
Supporters of the party are also hoping for a ruling in favor of Dr. Nduom.
I'm here to support Nduom because we are tired of NDC, NPP, and we want to change this time around. Yeah. We are hoping that we will win the case. Our leader will stand and then we vote so that we'll be happy.
For Batra West, we are waiting for our leader to win this case, and we are hoping for the best. We want prospective government, not incompetent government. We want to rule this country very well. We want competent government. That's why we are supporting Dr. Nduom.
And solo on the campaign trail, the Vice President, Kwesi Arthur, says the New Patriotic Party is not a political party that is patriotic enough to be given another opportunity to govern the country. According to him, the NPP's unpatriotic nature was manifested in the election petition case when the country was put in an atmosphere of very much uncertainty for close to 8 months. The Vice President was addressing students and lecturers at the University of Cape Coast.
The evening encounter with the senior members of the University of Cape Coast and the students afforded the Vice President to talk economics, an area very familiar to him. The Vice President counselled his audience the economy of Ghana risked being jeopardized if the MPP is voted for. His reason: the MPP's economic ideas are unrealistic and are likely to be unimplementable. Kwesi Arthur, in an answer to a question posed to him, claimed the MPP's desire of getting power at all costs in 2012 sent the country on a journey that cost the nation a fortune that can be quantified. He wants Ghanaians to be wary of the New Patriotic Party and the lies they are churning out about the economy.
I would have liked to hear from you what you think happened in those 8 months, and whether there was enough patriotism of the people who took us through that process. Because I don't know, but sometimes the political contest, you give up when you see that somebody has won. But if you are determined to take a whole country through uncertainty, and the uncertainty, even for us in Ghana, there was uncertainty. What will happen if the Supreme Court said the election was not valid? They should do it again. What happened to the ministers who had been appointed? What happens to economic programs that have been signed that the other side did not agree, even though the Constitution says that everything that the president has done until the day it is announced is valid. So there's quite a bit of uncertainty, and I'm sure that for foreigners who have a stable political system, that even when you disagree with the outcome, you give up because you're a patriotic citizen. We didn't have that here, and we all went through that. And I've seen many economists who have costed that 8-month program, the loss of productivity, especially, and the revenues for radio stations and television stations which were doing daily live broadcasts and so on, and people in the office who were not doing anything but listening and discussing. I cannot calculate that. But there were also a number of investors who thought that if they were not sure what the outcome will be, they better wait until we solve our problem before they will come out. There was significant uncertainty, and that did not do us any good.
The Vice President.
Well, meanwhile, the Upper West Regional Police Commander, DCOP Kwesi Mensah Duku, has warned that members of political parties in the region need to be careful because the police will not countenance any form of indiscipline or violence from any quarters during this year's elections. Interacting with members of political parties, DCOP Mensah Duku said the police would also be steadfast, more focused, and a lot more proactive to prevent any form of violence that could mar the December polls. He warned that the police would deal with persons who flout the act irrespective of their party affiliations.
Upper West Regional Commander of the Ghana Police Service, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Kwesi Mensah Duku, stated that the police administration has so far trained its personnel all over the country to ensure that they handle the election with tact and professionalism.
Since the police has the mandate to arrest and prosecute any member of the general public who may want to mar the beauty of the elections before, during, and after the elections. We are not going to countenance any indiscipline. We are therefore appealing to the political party executives. We have to respect the Public Order Act. I think you know what to do. You know the number of days that you have to send your letter to the police for any engagement. 5 clear working days, excluding weekends.
Upper West Deputy Director of the EC, Ali Osman Adamu, noted that all plans of the EC to hold the December polls are still on course despite the numerous suits filed against it. He rolled out their programs in the region.
The Commission has appointed the returning officers who are mandated by law to conduct the elections on behalf of Electoral Commission. We have appointed all the 11 returning officers and the 22 deputy returning officers, and they have been given the writ of elections which empowers them to conduct the elections on behalf of the Electoral Commission.
He identified 81 out of the 275 constituencies as hotspots, with 3 coming from the Upper West region. To this end, Deputy Upper West Commander of the Ghana Police Service, Dr. ACP Saibu Garba, assured the people that they are leaving nothing to chance and will treat all constituencies as trouble spots.
We're looking at Laura, we are looking at Jirapa, and we are looking at Wa Central. For security purposes,
The National Election Security Task Force is considering every constituency or every police station as a potential hotspot. That is how we plan. So we are considering all the 11 constituencies in the Upper West regions as potential hotspots.
Some of the participants shared their thoughts on the meeting.
What I want to urge the police to do is to ensure that each polling station, each of the 991 polling stations, is manned by a security personnel. They shouldn't go there as Egyptian mummies. Please. There are times in the past that incidents will be occurring there. You draw the attention of the security personnel and he will tell you that that is not his or her responsibility.
We are all for a positive Ghana. We have Ghana before political parties. I am first a Ghanaian before belonging to the NDC. My brother Hafiz is first a Ghanaian before belonging to the NPP. And of course, if Ghana bends, then we all have bent.
Important for Joy News, Rafik Salam. Wow.
In other news, the Minister of Finance, Setekpe, says government will not rush in its decision to use diaspora bonds for Ghanaians living abroad. Well, according to him, Ghanaians abroad will have the opportunity of earning interest on their foreign currencies when government decides to issue the bonds. This is, however, expected to be done with a step-by-step approach.
These are done through, the banks, and the banks as primary dealers. There's a possibility, as I said at the end of my CMC interview, that this could be a pointer to diasporans who are holding money, outside where interest rates are at, below 1%. Some are even trending towards sub-zero. Yes, for us to mobilize, I think there has been, long-standing suggestion that we should be doing diaspora bonds, given the large number of Ghanaians who are outside. We are going to see the extent to which there could be interest in diasporans who are holding money. We are not going to rush into it, but see whether this could be a step one, towards, making them buy, bonds, which they are outside, the country. Many of them are citizens in the technical sense that they are not residents there, but in a literal sense they are not residents. And if they can come in with their resources, to increase the supply, then it means that Ghana may be, the better, for...
Well, before we go though, this is a giant edifice, and upon completion, it is expected to reduce the huge traffic usually around the Kwame Nkrumah Circle here in Accra. But the menace of street and pavement hawking that leads to congestion around the area may not be reduced, as sellers have already taken over the newly constructed pavements under the newly constructed interchange at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle. My colleague Maxwell Agbagba reports that vantage points under the interchange are already being occupied, all ready for business.
This is an artist's impression of the Circle interchange. Its aesthetics and greenery is refreshing. But the beauty of the real 3-tier Circle interchange will forever remain a mirage if city authorities do not take steps to protect the over €74 million edifice. With some few days left for its completion, some sellers and hawkers have taken the interchange back to what it looked like, with buying and selling actively taking place at some vantage points of the interchange. Pedestrians sometimes are compelled to maneuver their way through the human traffic that has been created on the pavement under the interchange. The area that will host the statue of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is also not spared, as some sellers can be seen busily doing business there. City authorities have tried on countless occasions to get them to move from selling at the unauthorized places, but all to no avail. Kofi Boatsen is in his mid-20s and sells coconut on the pavement under the interchange.
We do not like what they are doing to us here. Sometimes when they come here, they aggressively take what we use in selling from us, the machete and everything. The other time, city authorities drag us to their offices to pay a fine of 50 Ghana cedis. They took away our truck too. God's abundant blessings can be found here. That is why we are still selling here.
President John Dramani Mahama cut the sword for the construction of this interchange sometime in October 2013. The main purpose is to ease congestion on the stretch. But as it stands right now, that purpose would possibly be defeated, as some sellers are back here on the streets selling and doing business. From the sale of earpiece, bananas, coconut, everything. You can find it right here under this interchange. Reporting from the Circle Interchange here in Accra, for Joy News, Maxwell Agbagba.
We'll see how it goes when the interchange is opened. Remember, it's one of the biggest infrastructure projects, being the flagship for the NDC government for this very electioneering. Well, you want to tell us a lot more about what your look and feel is for the electioneering, what the parties have been telling you in your constituency or in your community. You can do so by logging on to our Facebook page, Joy News on TV. We've linked that very page to our Twitter handle, @JoyNewsOnTV is that very handle name. And through the number 0560 800,000, you can reach us. On Facebook, we're streaming live. Don't forget that.